Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Journey Across the Galaxy. We are continuing to head in towards the black hole at the center of the galaxy, Sagittarius A star. As you can see, we are about 3/4 of the way there, making slow but steady progress towards our goal, but primarily, we're working on exobiology. So, let's go ahead and get up into space, and hopefully, looks like the next destination is going to be obscured behind the planet, so probably going to have to do a little bit of orbital.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, gonna have to get out first and then obtain a line of sight to the next destination. But anyways, as I said, the stated purpose of this mission is obviously to get to Sagittarius A star, but a close secondary goal is just leveling up our exobiology along the way. So we're looking for planets that we can land on, scan, and find cool, interesting forms of life to add to our collection of data that we can sell once we get to a station. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Once we get into a system, we will check the system map to make sure that no one else has scanned it already, because, you know, if they've already done the work for us, why do it ourselves? And then we'll hop into the full spectrum system scanner, check to see if there are any ammonia worlds, Earth-like worlds, or water worlds that we want to go collect our data from. Still not able to go. And then after that, if there are a few enough planets to that it's not going to take us forever to get a full system scan done, we'll go ahead and scan planets looking for landable planets with biology. So that's the format for our episodes as we go, for those of you who are new. For the rest of you, you know that these episodes are mostly just me talking while we do these, trying to keep you guys interested so that the repetitiveness of doing these scans and jumping and all that stuff over and over and over again doesn't become too unbearable. Because, you know, this kind of series is mostly just about the ambiance of being out in space. Elite Dangerous, as they say, is, you know, 1 billion miles wide and about an inch deep. So there isn't really that much to do other than just doing the same thing over and over again. So as we said, we're going to hop into the map here, check out to see if there's anything that somebody else has discovered. There's only 6 bodies here, 3 of which are stars. So I'm not expecting to find anything particularly interesting, but yeah, and they're all gas giants, so there's no real point in even bothering to scan anything here. Let's go ahead and move on to the next system in the route, and this is pretty much what we do. So while we do that, I gotta try to find something to talk about to, you know, make the episode worth listening to. This video, it would help if I could learn how to talk without having stutters like that. I will eventually get there, don't worry. I think my narrations continue to improve as we go, as my brain slowly molds itself into this kind of radio broadcasty kind of format that I do for these. But anyways, what I was trying to say is that my Elite Dangerous videos and my trucking videos are pretty much just background for me talking about random stuff. That's just kind of the way those end up working out, because there just isn't enough to do to make it super interesting. Let's see here. Nope. Moving on. So I don't know. I always have to try to like come up with something to talk about. And see, the issue is that by the time I get done with my intro and all of that stuff, I've used. Hello. All right. I've used all of my brain power trying to just get through the standard intro and all of that stuff, and you know, it's kind of hard to try to come up with a topic to talk about while you're in the middle of doing all of that. So most of the time I get to this point and I just kind of ramble on for a little bit until something sparks in my mind. Most of the time I end up talking about some feature of Elite Dangerous that really bugs me. And you know, the reason for that is not because, I mean, obviously I'm playing the game, right? I love Elite Dangerous. I don't even know how many hours I have. I'll try to pull that up here in a second when I'm not about to run into a star. Maybe I can kind of pull that number up, but I mean, I have many hours in Elite Dangerous, hundreds and hundreds of hours. I don't think I broke the 1,000-hour mark, but I have hundreds and hundreds of hours in this game, and you know, that's a testament to how good it is. But it's just, I don't know, it's super frustrating that there's a lot of things in the game where they made it almost unbearable. Okay, well, there's supposed to be bodies in the system here, but these are some weird orbits. What's going on here? Well, I'd like to scan these guys, but oh, okay, here we go. Very strange. So we're looking for biological features over there in the top right. If we're able to find one of those, then we'll head over and grab one of these. Oh no, these guys are... There's no point in even continuing to scan. They're all 50 freaking thousand light years away. I'm not trying to go all that way. So, on to the next system. But yeah, like I was saying. Excuse me. Yeah, let me pull up my Steam over here on the side while we're waiting for that. Check out my Elite Dangerous. I have 876.5 hours at the time of this recording in this game. And, you know, there's a good reason for that. The game itself is just... It has the potential. It has the potential to be really excellent if they would just, you know, deepen the pool a little bit. But they don't seem to want to do that. They keep wanting to widen the pool by adding new features in the sense that they're not adding better features to what was already here. They're trying to attract new types of players by adding new things to the game. For example, as we all know, Odyssey. Now I know a lot of commanders that were in the game already were like clamoring for first-person shooter content, and I'm like, guys, this is a space game. If you guys want to go do first-person shooters, go play Halo or something. I mean, why are we going to expend resources adding an element to this game that has nothing to do with the primary reason why you came here? You didn't come here to, you know, go shoot people in the face. You came here to fly spaceships. Now, if the first person stuff was... What's going on here? Okay. That was incredibly strange. Anyways, if the first-person stuff was more, you know, space-based, like, hey, we're going to be able to run around our ship, you know, ship interiors, one of the biggest things that people have been asking for quite a long time. Or if it had been something cool like, you know, EVA between ships, you find ships that you can board, you can go do... Like, if it had been combat on ships and stuff like that, I'd have been a little bit more like, oh, okay, that's cool, but it was just bases. That's all they did. They did some basic light atmosphere and some planetary bases that you can go on. And again, it was just the same old repetitive, do the same thing over and over again. It's like, I really would, rather than all of that stuff, if you're going to focus on first-person stuff, I would much rather you have invested the time into creating really awesome ship interiors and starting out your first-person view stuff with that. I think more people would have been much more excited if they had gone that route rather than trying to make combat on the ground a thing. It's like, there's plenty of other games out there that do that. We don't need another one. So I don't know. I strongly disagree with the path that they chose, and it's just frustrating because I can envision how the game could be if they made the right decisions. If they made the right decisions, the right decision would have been focus on the ships, focus on the space part, and, you know, give the people what they need. I would love it if, or you know, even if it set aside that walking around part and give us more exploration content. I mean, how many people get into this game? I know a lot of people get into the game and they want to go and do the ship combat. They want to go fight people. They want to do that stuff. Okay, that's fine. I get it. But I think that those of us who grew up on Star Trek and shows like that, really want to get out here and see some really cool, interesting, unique things in space. And, you know, for me, when I saw this game, my first thought wasn't, oh yeah, I get to hop in there and start shooting people. My first thought was, oh, I'm going to go explore the galaxy. Are you serious? I'm going to go explore the galaxy. And unfortunately, they didn't do enough. They didn't do enough to make exploring the galaxy something that was, you know, really worth most people's time. I mean, I still do it from time to time, but eventually I get tired of doing it because there's just not enough here to keep my attention. And it could be so much better if, you know, they sat down, put a little bit of time, put a little bit of effort, developed things that made it worth the grind of going to find these things. Like, for example, yeah, I know Guardian structure is this and Guardian structure is that, but I mean, you know, even even that's going to get really old just searching for this one thing. We need a lot more than just this one set of buildings or something that you might happen to come across if you grind enough to get to it. It's like the slot machine concept, right? You need to have just enough success. Oh, okay. That's weird. You need to have just enough success sprinkled into all of the grinding to make it worth people's time, to make them want to come back, to make them want to keep playing the game. And how do you do that? Well, you have enough different things for them to find, and you put those things in such a way that they're easy enough to find. Okay, well, we're looking for at least 2 biological signatures, so even though there's a biology there, it's just going to be a bacteria, which isn't really worth the time it's going to take for us to go fly over there and figure out what it is. So we're going to look for something that has at least 2 in it, and if we can find that, then we'll go target it and kind of head over there. What's this? Still not enough for what we're looking for here. Looks like there's one more. Where's this guy? Alright, so not yet again snake eyes for that one, but that's alright. Let's continue on to the next system. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of ways that they could go about doing exploration in a way that would be fun and exciting and interesting. I mean, even just like ancient space stations, right? Like you can fly into an ancient space station, land your ship, and you know, walk around the space station scanning artifacts with your little hand scanner thing or whatever. Like if they came out with I think they could revive the game if they came out with a serious exploration centric expansion. You know, I would totally pay Odyssey prices if they came out with a serious exploration focused kind of thing. I seriously would. I would be totally interested in that. And they could do all kinds of cool stuff like that. Not abandoned, but just ancient space stations from, you know, lost civilizations. You know, even if all they did, in addition to that, if all they did was added, you know, outposts on the ground from ancient civilizations that you could actually get out, scan with just hand scanners and things like that. That aren't just Guardian sites. I don't want any more Guardian stuff. You know what I mean? The Guardian stuff is just, it's old, it's boring. I don't want any more of that. I want new stuff. That's kind of the whole thing there. And because the Guardian stuff, even in Odyssey, you have to do it in your SRV. It's like, okay, well, you know, that's not exactly fun. I know they added some Odyssey stuff to it, but it's just it's not enough to make it worth the expansion. I'm sure I know people are going to disagree. That's fine. You can disagree. Those of you who wanted Odyssey because of the specific things that they chose to put in, you're going to disagree with my position. But for those of us who are in this game because it's a spaceship game, you know, that's how we feel about it. We want to do the space stuff. So, I don't know. I know it's just griping. And realistically, with the way the company is going, it's unlikely that they're going to put much focus into this game because Odyssey was a big flop, and they don't want to risk trying again and having another bad flop and putting all that money into developing something, and it ends up being a huge waste of money. You know, and that's just kind of the way business goes, and it's unfortunate that the entertainment industry is so heavily business-centric. Why am I scanning all of this stuff? There's way too many there. I wasn't paying attention. I got too busy into talking about things, and I wasn't paying attention to how many planets were in this system. Let's move on to the next one. So hopefully we can find what we're looking for here. But yeah, it's unfortunate that, you know, the video game industry has been captured by the uncreative, business, money-centric people because we don't get the. I remember back in the 90s when video games were seriously becoming a major part of American culture, of world culture, and the creativity and the boundless. They were all unbounded by these rules of business. They just made what they wanted to make, and people either liked it or they didn't. And the creators, I mean, they cared about whether they were going to sell whether they were going to sell copies of their game. But for the most part, they just made the games that they wanted to play. You know what I mean? And it wasn't focused on how long does it take to make this. You know, we have a production schedule to meet and blah blah blah. It's like, The best games are made when the people making the games are able to just make the games that they want to make. And, you know, what's the best example of that recently? Right? What's the best? We all know what the answer to that question is. What's the best example of that? Baldur's Gate, right? Baldur's Gate 3 is an amazing game, you know, minus some of the things that they chose to include in it that many of us find not necessarily offensive, but it's just like, you know, you don't necessarily have to shove that stuff in our face. I don't necessarily, you know, people can be what they want to be. I don't necessarily, like, give me the option to play the character the way I want to play the character. I don't need to have this stuff forced on me, but whatever. Outside of a few minor objections from, you know, social things that are trying to be forced on us, Baldur's Gate was an amazing game, and it's because the people who were developing that game were free to make the game the way they wanted to make it. They were free to take the time to actually make the game, to make the game at an excellent level of quality. They didn't say, oh, nope, we have to have this out by this time, so nope, you can't finish that and make it perfect. You need to actually sit here and get it done and move on to the next task. That's the way video games really should be made. That's the way movies should really be made. Anything that is creative in nature should really be given the ability to make it to the level that the person who created the vision for it came up with. Because those people are going to have the passion to make it good. And what business people don't seem to understand is that, yeah, it might cost a fair bit more to make it right, but if you're making products that are good, more people are going to want it, and you're going to end up making more money. And the problem is that they don't understand that investing isn't just about a math formula, especially when it comes to entertainment. You know, a lot of the time, the more you invest in something, assuming you're investing in the right areas, the more you're going to get back out of it, because people are going to love your product. And that's the way that these guys need to think about it, you know? And that's, I don't know, there needs to be some kind of like, a lot of these companies need to really start investing in, say, creative directors or creative, like, I know there are producers and their job is to make the movie happen, but they really need to have like these companies really need to have I don't know what the word, but just somebody who's there to ensure that the money people aren't able to completely kill a movie with all of these stupid little things that they come up with. They should be there to say, to be kind of the arbiter between, you know, is this creatively valuable? Are you just wasting time because you're being a perfectionist, or is this actually adding value to the movie or video game or whatever it is? There needs to be a lot more focus on balancing between how much is this costing the company to make versus how much creativity is this adding, or how much value is this adding to the movie, and, you know, is the audience going to appreciate it? I feel like, you know, we've swung way too far in the direction of, was this a, oh, I was too busy talking and didn't realize that was an ammonia world. So we definitely need to find that again and go target it.
System scan complete.
Okay, so where was this? I'm glad I paused for a second to go find out where that was. Where is it? Crap. So it's gonna be gray, but that's not showing up. Was it in here? Well, I mean, I guess I could go to the map. That'll tell me. Which one of these was the ammonia world? Is it this one? I remember. High metal content. High metal content. There we go. That's what we're looking for. All right, let's go scan this dude. Or how far away is it? Oh yeah, super close. All right, so let's go scan this guy, and we'll get ourselves the maximum amount of money that you can get from a scannable body. Did I not set the Super Cruise Assist? All right, get locked on. All right, there we go. So I don't know. It's just one of those things where you wish things could be better, but unfortunately, the people who are in charge are outside of your control, and there's nothing you can really do about it. I mean, yeah, you can vote with your dollars, and you should. You should only spend your money on, you know, creative endeavors that have value to you. And if, you know, a particular company isn't producing the kinds of movies or video games that you want to see, don't spend your money there. That's, you know, that's a default position. But it's just, it would be nice if the people who are in charge of these things actually had some kind of creative bone in their body and were willing to take some more risks. Because the reason that movies back in the 80s and 90s were as good as they were is because we didn't have this strict regulation within these production companies that we have now. They were allowed to just make the movie they wanted to make, and companies were willing to take a risk, and, you know, most of them probably failed, but the ones that made it were so amazing that it made up for all the little failed projects. You know what I mean? And that's what we need to get back to in all of our creative endeavors. Yeah, video games are going to fail. You're going to invest in some games that just don't make it. But if you let the people who have the vision for the project go the way they need to go, you're going to get way more money, way more profit, way more everything out of your company than the way you're trying to do it now. And the problem is, you know, they have this illusion of control. If I follow this formula, I can control the outcome of how everything's going to work out, and I can, you know, be sure that my investors are going to get their money and blah, 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 blah. It's like, you know, it doesn't work that way. Nobody has the level of control they need to ensure that everything's going to work out. You have to be willing to take some risk. You have to be willing to, you know, roll the dice and let things fail sometimes. Sometimes it's going to fail, and you got to be okay with that. But unfortunately, we live in a time where people just aren't willing to do that. It's unfortunate. We can complain about it, and I will. This isn't going to be the last time I complain about, you know, stuff in this game, stuff in the movie sphere, stuff in the video game sphere. It's just, it's the world we live in now, and until people start making it clear that they don't want these corporate drones deciding what their content, what their entertainment is going to be, it's just going to continue this way. Fortunately, it feels like we're kind of on an upswing now when it comes to that. A lot of the big movie production companies are struggling because, you know, the formula that they invested in is finally starting to fail them, and people are starting to be like, hey man, I'm tired of this same old stuff. Can you guys actually start making good things now, please? It would be nice if we could get some movies with original storylines and, you know, maybe not all this crazy CGI stuff, things that are a little bit more people-centric and story-centric and, you know, relationship-centric, and it's just, people have gotten kind of bored with spectacle, I think. So that's a good thing. I really hope that, you know, we start moving into a time where the entertainment side of our lives is a little bit more meaningful because people are starting to focus on those things. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping for that. But anyways, we are at 23 minutes into this video now. I've been babbling on about entertainment for a while. We need to start finding a place to land. I'm guessing it's not going to be here, so hopefully another couple of jumps we'll be able to find ourselves a planet to land on. And ideally, the next system will have at least something. I mean, we don't really have time to go scanning for biology. I'm just kind of trying to find a planet to land on to park for the quote unquote night. Because we need to get on the ground. I know you can just log off in space, and there's no problem with that. But I like the safety and security feeling that I get of just setting my ship down on a body, and then turning off the power and going to sleep for the night. It's kind of what I'm looking for. So, ideally, we'll come across a system here. Ooh, okay. Is this going to show me? Of course not. We'll try to find. We'll do a little bit of scanning to hopefully find a planet that we can land on. Still nothing, huh? All right. So let's hop into here really quick, and then we'll look for maybe a rocky body. This should be close enough that should be able to find something to land on. Is there? Is everything far away? Ugh, so much. Okay, so I don't know, is there a way to find out whether these are landable from here? I don't remember. I don't think it tells me from here whether they're landable or not, so I just have to, like, I have to scan a few of them and try to go to the system map and have it tell me. Let me know in the comments if you know a way to look at these and see if they're landable from the full spectrum system scanner, because if I can just... Oh, you know what? Geological. That's going to be what it is. Okay. So one of those should be landable if it says geological on it. Yeah, okay. So let's go to this guy here. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Get our throttle going. Get ourselves mostly lined up. Get ourselves locked on target there. And then we can maximize our speed. Alright, so I'll be back when it's time to land. It is going to take a minute or so to get over there, and, you know, you guys don't want to watch this part. Alright, here we are. We did pass by the gas giant. I forgot to bring you guys back in as I was approaching because I was so focused on because there was all these bodies and gravity wells that were slowing me down, and I kind of spaced out and forgot to bring you guys back. But anyways, here we are at the landing planet that we're trying to get to. Let's get down on the ground, get parked, and we'll call it an episode. Let's get the Super Cruise Assist turned off. Right, it's off. Yo, 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 yo. I feel like we're slamming into this planet here. Slow down, slow down. That's all right. We're going to go up to the pole anyway. So let's, we'll bring the speed back up just a little bit. Try to stay outside. Let's get in here. All right, that's good. All right, never mind. Too much is going on too fast for me to narrate it. I'm trying to get to where we can get over here. I'm not sure where I want to land. Kind of want to land... I always like to land, if you've watched my previous episodes, you know I like to land pretty close to where the shadow is. I kind of wanted to land where the ice was, but I don't know. Is there a reason why? Okay, yeah, that was a little bit awkward because we came in way too hot, but whatever. Let's go land over in this area. I kind of want to be in a spot where there's multicolors going on. And then I'm gonna try to add, like I did in the last episode, where we end our time on top of the spaceship, so that you have this nice cool visual as we exit. All right, just make sure that we're at 0 there. All right, nice. So, let's go, let's kind of go over this way so that we can have, yeah, I want to make it so that we can see both types of terrain here. So let's get the landing gear out.
Landing gear deployed.
Where is this star? Oh yeah, the star's way over there. Okay. Well, I was hoping we were going to be able to see the different colors of terrain, but it doesn't seem like that's really much of a thing. That's alright, though. Alright, so hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button so the YouTube algorithm knows that you did and sends the video out to more viewers. The more people we have along for this ride, the more fun it's going to be for all of us. Subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already, so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your video feed and you will be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. Channel members do get early access to all of my videos, so be sure to click that join button just below your viewer so you can check out the list of benefits that will become available to you depending on the tier that you choose, should you choose to support the channel. Again, thank you very much for your time. I hope you guys had lots of fun, and I'll see you for the next one.